for the loser, but a glorious one for whoever wins. And the Kangaroos with McKernan, who takes the footy out of the air and then pushes it forward. Aussie Jones, first touch for the Saints, around the body in the AFL team on Monday night. 20 years of age. King belts it forward. Winmar, did he give a free kick away to Stevens? Not paid. Play on. The umpiring early will be interesting. Bell was over the top of the ball. Saints force it forward. North Melbourne are being besieged early. Thompson, quick handball, good. Brown round the corner. North Melbourne get a hand to it. It's out of play. Interesting. There's Simpson. Winmar, not really. One kick but for Jones. Winmar down, no free kick. But it was like the force was with the Saints and they pushed the ball forward 50 metres.
And having a look at Peter Bell in those opening seconds, these sort of conditions will be ideal for him. Here's a low once again. Trails a roundhouse sweep out the back. Anderson tries to soccer off the ground. Comes to the half-back line. They're out of trouble. They break it down towards Carey. The Kings got it. Just forward of centre. Looks down towards half-forward. The kick slews off the side of the boot. And the Saints will get out of trouble for the moment. Back towards centre wing and big bad bustling Barry Hall's got it. He'll be throwing his weight around tonight, Barry, a former boxer from Broadford. Kicks towards Stewie Lowe. Longmire is there with him. Daniels does it delightfully to Harvey. Harvey has a look in towards goal. He sets sail for home. Over the back is John Blakey. Winmar is there with him. Blakey concedes it behind the first score of the night. Good start here at the MCG.
Anti-climax as King goes back to get the ball. Nicky Winmar taking a tumble. Nothing much to that. And King to bring it in. Buzz around this ground. King having a bit to say. Told to hurry up and shut up. He drives the ball out towards half-back. In front, good grab. Lappin releases the ball immediately to Jones. Jones from 60 down towards full forward. Heatley's in front, had it fisted away. This is Thompson, throws it on the boot. It's close. I think he's got it. He has. First goal of the night.
Yes, that was a very poor kick in by King on that occasion. He basically picked out the three St.Kilda players. I'm not even sure who he's actually aiming at. But it didn't look like a wet day the way Lappin marked that ball quickly onto Jones. And again, you've got the tall player against the smaller designated kicker. Even though the spoil was affected, Thompson been a terrific in and out player and goal kicker at times.
Saints have settled quickly here. 1-1 to no score. Back in the centre square. Off the ground, Cook forces forward. Thompson's been important in the first few minutes. Anderson rides him into the ground. They're quickly onto it. And it'll be a ball up 55 metres from the Saints' goal. What a record Dennis Pagan has. 11 finals matches he's coached in, 8 wins. The last 5 in succession. It's something to boast about. Not that he'll do that. Bell's kick into the centre. Scholl, who'll be an important player. Scott, good move. He's going to run with Aussie Jones, obviously. Jones getting on it with Carey. Beautifully done, Carey. Superbly done. Good handball. Scholl works it back. That's okay. Back in the direction of Rock. Centering kick. Wobbly one. Hard to mark. Free kick. Is it going to North Melbourne? It is. Holding. And this is the right... Well, I was going to say Allison would be the perfect man to take it. But Crocker's not a bad kick himself.
What do you think of this one, John?
Oh, there's no doubt that he's locked arms, and certainly Crocker eventually wasn't affected all that much, but initially there was certainly an effect on Crocker's ability to put his hands in the air.
He's there to kick a goal, Crocker. That's his job. Leans back and kicks it straight. I reckon at the end of the night, Lee, if he has 4 kicks and kicks 3 goals, Dennis Pagan will say he's done his job.
Well, he has. He's played it on the full forward line. He started against Hudson, of course, and Allison has started down there as well. Yeah, certainly, as John mentioned, the arm was locked. The umpire was in the perfect position, and it is so important to kick accurately when you get your first shot. North are now on terms. This has been a terrific start to the game.
Great start for the veteran Darren Crocker, 30 years of age now. And coming back into the seniors, McKernan, the free kick out of the middle.
High tackle paid, Sandy.
Kicks out of the mud. Down towards half forward. Hodgson in front. Takes the mark and plays on wide to Nathan Burke. He steadies and goes from the half-back flank up towards the centre wing. Leading in the race is Anthony Rock, set upon by Jack Daniels, and he finds the boundary line. Right on centre wing. Crowd continuing to build despite the inclement conditions. A very good crowd for this knockout final. Peter Bell, a chance for North Melbourne from the throw-in. Sneaks away from Nathan Burke. Pokes it in towards shoal territory at half forward. Well spoiled by the Iceman. Couldn't take it. Comes to ground. Shanahan working hard again. Still going, but there's been a whistle. The Saints out of trouble.
Push paid, pushing the back.
So from half-back, Hodgson has a look down towards centre wing. Down towards Daniels and Stewie Lowe. Screaming over the top. He couldn't take it. Neither could Aussie Jones. A chance now for Robert Harvey. The champ comes up towards half forward. Winmar takes the mark, plays on to Thompson. He's already kicked one. He can go again. Lappin's in the pocket. Pulls it a little too far. And a behind goes on the board.
He's actually become almost a specialist small forward, Thompson. St Kilda play him there really because he's a very good tackler, chaser, pressure in their forward line, but he's actually gets to the really good crumbing position, front of the pack. Twice so far in this game he's taken the ball in these situations, overlapping from behind. He's become a valuable player.
Attention there for John Longmire. Meantime, King to himself plays on. Saints by 2 points, driven towards the outer side, missed by Blakey. Jones crunched, got a hand pass away, out of bounds. It'll be thrown in. Outer side. We said the crowds with the Saints, but plenty of support for North as well. The bench and Longmire. Meantime, Roberts falling to the ground. Stevens knocks at Goldwood. Simpson hurriedly with his right foot down towards half forward. Wakeland, timely hand on the ball. Fumble by Shanahan. Stevens off the deck. Only as far as Daniels. He fell over. This is Shanahan backing up. Throws the ball under the boot. Down towards half forward. All or nothing from Longmire. Now he's got a problem. Came out the back. Socket off the ground by Pike. Out towards the wing. Roberts a half chance. Feeds it off. Missed Anderson. Down goes Hall. Claimed by Pike. Comes across to Cripps. Cripps inside the 50. Heatley falls to the ground. Martin crawls after it. Oh, brilliant. The pick up by Winmar. Steadies on the 50. Goes for goal. It's floating. Low. Magnificent. Running with the flat of the ball. Stewie Lowe 5 metres out.
Well, how was that one-touch ball handling by Winmar? He hasn't been in enormous form in recent games, but gee, that was just touched the ball, immediately took possession, even though the ball is slightly slippery. That's a magician at work on that occasion.
Well, over the past seasons, he's averaged 8 marks per game, spread over 63 games. Remarkable figures. Stewie Lowe directly in front. This to stretch the lead. It's straight.
So Lowe gets his first. The Saints get their second. Jared Heatley is doing the video analysis of tonight. Jared, an early trend for us.
Well, just interesting to see the way that St Kilda are trying to isolate 2 of their great ball winners. Rob Harvey, you'll see coming off the back of the square. He will start there to get away from his tag, which is Stevens. And Nicky Winmar came in late. And his tagger, of course, is John Blakey. And the position here with Rob Harvey is that he can come off the back of the square to give St Kilda a running target through that area.
So we're now back in the centre. The Saints lead 2-2 to a goal. Magnificent football a moment ago by Winmar and then Lowe. McKernan jumps early. Cook against him. Free kick McKernan.
Push, yeah, that looked a bit soft, Bruce, I must admit.
Oh.
Another North Melbourne player down. Is that Rock?
Yes.
Did you see it, Dennis? I didn't. Stevens away. Kicks inside 50. Front spot Carey. Good effort by Wakeland at the back. Scholl through it in the end, surely. The ball towards the line, out of play.
Just out of the corner of my eye, Bruce. May have been a collision. Not sure there was any sinister intent.
Hasn't helped Anthony Rock much, I must say. Yeah, whatever happened there. Didn't quite see what happened, only the aftermath.
Stevens, little kick. Carey in the pocket, running out. Lee, we've been playing nearly 10 minutes. I'll just go down and join Russell. And Russell, you saw the incident with Zilla and Rock?
Yes, Bruce. Stephen Zilla just cannoned into Rock at that stage, and Rocky slipped in the mud, so not a problem.
Do you think at half forward, the belt over the back, Stevens quick kick out on the floor? Lee, just a quick one. Have players settled by now? I mean, 10 minutes in.
Oh, yeah, I think they're settled. They're into the game. I mean, the rhythm of the match is going. It's even Stevens, probably both sides at the moment, even though St Kilda have got that other goal on the scoreboard. Good game of football.
Rock takes the Hudson kick, goes back towards that player once again. And Max Hudson defends, pushing over the line. There he is, the boy from West Brisbane. Only 16 games to Max Hudson, so his career unfolding. And maybe a fairy tale finish in 97 for him, who knows. Roberts overseeing proceedings at the top. It comes out the back towards McKernan. He's going to be under a ton of pressure. Gang tackled over the line. Oh, they pumped the Sainters, and so they should be.
That's hurt him too, Sandy.
Oh, that's
his right shoulder.
Oh.
That bone doesn't look where it's supposed to be from where I saw it.
No,
it's not. It's the end of him, I think, for the night. Brown gets claim. No one able to get it out. Cook working hard at the bottom. Shanahan comes in from the side, and McKernan finished for the night.
Tragic. The right shoulder blade, Sam.
Tragic. Oh, he's in dreadful pain. See what happened, Lee.
It was almost shades, wasn't it, of Jose Ramiro. The arm went out. And when it came down, too much pressure on the shoulder joint, and it looks like it's popped out.
He's still walking across the ground. They may have to stop play because Stuart Lowe is right next to him. Lowe plays on. He kicks towards Barry Hall. Got in front but couldn't complete the mark. Blakey's under pressure. Gets a hurried kick towards the half-back line. The Saints are pumped. And North Melbourne in real trouble. Hall, an interesting hand pass across to Brown. He looks down towards the half-forward line once again. Here's Stephen Zilla, 40 metres out. He bounces it towards goal, but he pulls it too far. Maybe the hand pass, Lee?
Oh, no, I think he had the chance there, but left side, he probably had more time to balance. And here we see this McKernan incident. Again, the arm outstretched, the shoulder joint doesn't take that kind of pressure too well. And I think pretty soon we'll check down with the boundary what exactly it is, but it looked pretty much like a dislocated shoulder from the distance we're sitting.
What a heartbreaker for North. King kicks in close to the boundary line. Longmire didn't keep it in. Things rolling for the Saints at the moment. Thompson got the first goal. Centering kick towards centre half forward, reaching over the top. Martin. Winmar dragged off it. It spills. Pike couldn't control it. This is Blakey from centre half back, hurriedly down towards half forward. Pickett with giant strides. Two-handed fist away. Bell crashes the pack. Lost control. Carey, the Roo boy, like a Roo, springing through there down towards half forward. Awkward one for Allison. Freeborn on Jones. Loose ball. Jones on all fours. Knocks it towards the boundary. Gained about 10 metres. Corey McKernan on the bench. Here's Dipper.
Yes, Dennis, as we saw, Corey McKernan has done his shoulder. They're trying to pop the shoulder back in at the moment. He's going through a lot of pain, but, you know, bad luck for the big fella.
Cook down to Jones. With him, Simpson. Jones has been very good early. Boundary throw-in. At half forward, right for North. And as Dennis said a moment ago, things are moving for the Saints. They're not a whole lot in front on the scoreboard, but that is a sad, sorry picture for North. A huge body blow with McKernan off the ground. Janilchenko being held onto Jones. No free kick. Roberts in the pocket. Daniels over him. Back to Scott. Can be clever. 45 metres out. Floating kick. Getting back Shanahan. Shouldered very well to contest. He started his career and played most of it as a defender and belted it out of play.
Irony there, Bruce. Just looking at Corey McKernan, you almost have to see a carbon copy of Peter Everett, don't you?
Yes, with Everett coming so late in the season for the Saints in the qualifying final against Brisbane. This was a bit tougher blow. Everett's looked a bit innocuous at the time. And now a free kick to the Saints. So the score here at the MCG, it's 2-3 to a goal. The Saints lead by 9 points.
Stan Alves said during the week to his boys, go out and enjoy it. Barry Hall is. He leaps high, but he can't take it. Scott waits down and he pumps North back in towards Shoal territory once again. Cook was in front. Spills the mark, however. Comes to Nathan Burke. Tries to go back to the big man. Cook soccers off the ground. but doesn't go the distance he wanted. Straight to King. He pumps it back in towards full forward. Lappin does well to get boot to ball. Tries to soccer it clear. Jones there also. Danilchenko cuts across. And Robert Scott picks himself up for a throw-in on the outer side. Hasn't missed a game this year, Robert Scott. One of a half a dozen boys from Arden Street to have achieved that feat. Danilchenko applies the tackle. Spills free to Jones. He's another one who's played every game for St Kilda. Aussie's kick in towards the middle of the ground. It's okay. But the Martin tackle was fierce. Thompson taken out of it. Martin goes again. Mickey's peddling along in the mud, but he persists and he tackles hard. He wants the ball and he doesn't get it.
It's interesting, whenever St Kilda get the ball and surge clear, you can almost see the leg speed advantage they got in a lot of positions. That's where North are going to be in trouble.
Scholl down towards left half forward, hassled by Shanahan. Socket clear towards the boundary line. It wobbles at centre wing for a throw-in. Stephen Ziller, mud splattered. Gary Colling in the foreground and Stan Alves in the background.
I'm going to say, Sandy, I think John Longmire might be called out from centre half back to take on the ruck duties.
Saints by 9 points. Cripps slaps at goalwood. This is Rock. Quiet early last week. Out on the full. Bad luck for North. No, throw it in, says the umpire.
The boundary umpire actually signalled out of bounds, Dennis, rather than out on the full. So
well, Rock was standing the mark. He stood there, hands above his head. Crowd watched the replay. They're booing. Longmire back towards the boundary. Thompson, half opportunity, couldn't control it. Across the line it goes. The bench, off the bench. Anxiety and smiles all around at the MCG. Longmire directs it down. Burke back towards the line once more. Daniel slides in, can't keep it in. 2-3 to one straight goal. And on balance, the Saints looking the better side. McKernan, the big news, off the ground. It appears to be a dislocated shoulder. Roberts dragged down. That shoulder put back in, but he's out of action for the night. Freeborn couldn't control it. Brown emerges with it, running down towards half forward. Again for the middle, and Heatley clears the pack. Getting back first is Scott, lays it off to Martin. Martin goes out wide. Pike with the run of it, missed it. Chance now for Lowe. Lowe has it, but it's a free kick coming back to North Melbourne.
free kick paid to Pike for pushing the back.
What a last quarter he played. Took a great mark. Big run and saved a goal. Looked a bit of a soft free kick. Carey pushes out very well and then makes a mess of it. And don't they love that? That one is out on the fall, just like Watts was a couple of minutes ago.
I think it was soft too. I'm sure it was, Bruce.
5 scoring shots to 1, 15-6 the score. Lappin, who looked seriously injured late in the season against Melbourne on this ground. The Saints are unbeaten on this ground this year. 3 out of 3. Good stretch by Wakeley to Burke. Burke running. One of 4 Saints in the All-Australian team. 3 of them out there tonight. Inside half forward almost. Good hands by Simpson to Roberts. Roberts controls it beautifully to Anderson in the centre. North know what it's like to come from behind. They did it last week. They seemed out of it in the 3rd quarter.
Kicks towards half forward. Waitland came steaming out, got a hand to it. That other player you were talking about, Peter Everett, is on the other side of the fence. He'll be watching his teammates tonight. Stuart Lowe marks on the outer side. Wants to get on with the job quickly. Up towards right half forward. Daniels has it. Between centre wing and half forward. Has a look up towards Barry Hall territory. Winmar's at the back. Hall still a long way out. Gives it off to Nicky Winmar. In towards Heatley. The diving mark. 45 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Peter McKenna. You're just above Heatley at the moment. What's his position?
Yep, Heatley is in a perfect position here. 45-degree angle, Sandy, and 45 metres out. He is a beautiful kick. I saw him practicing before the game from here. He really places the ball on the boot, but they're in trouble in defence now. North have had to move Martin out on the low, which is disorganise their defence a little bit, and of course Pike has had to go onto Heatley, so they might lose a bit of his running ability from half back.
Let's see what he can do, Pete. He knows what it's like to kick goals against this side. He booted 9-1. Oh, that's a lovely kick. A beauty. Heatley gets his first. The Saints go further ahead.
Yes, and not only are they ahead on the scoreboard, St Kilda, they're just really jumped into this game. The little things are going their way. They're playing well. When they surge forward out of midfield, you can almost see a swarm of St Kilda players following the ball into half forward, into their forward 50. But when North Melbourne are doing likewise, they just haven't got the same run out of the midfield. So this game is all with St Kilda.
Jason Heatley, 64 goals for this season. Saints by 15 points. Cook decisively. Brown lost it. Socket off the ground by Cook. Grabbed in the middle by Daniels, who boots it towards half forward. Bounces off the chest of Hall. Heatley again. Bounces over the man. In front. Runs on. Beat them both. It's another goal. How about that? Beat Martin. Beat Lowe. And through it went.
Yes, he's hitting the ball hard, Barry Hall. He created the opportunity, but we've seen Jason Heatley so many times very, very good at ground level. The ability to grab the ball, turn on one step and kick accurately. We've seen it many times, and certainly 2 goals tonight. North are really going to have to put their hands up here because St Kilda have got the game really flowing.
Saw McKernan a moment ago. Symbolised North just at the moment. There's a long way to go. There'll be a lot more goals kicked in this game, but the Saints are making the running. Shanahan tried to go off the ground. Bell, North need the next one. They need it in a hurry. Wakeland, Crocker goes to ground. Simpson can't get it away. Taken by Pecker. That's symbolic of North right now. Runs the full measure. Boots the ball back into the centre square. Was Mickey into the back? Not paid. Back to King. King with Harvey. Harvey runs him hard. King forced to go very, very wide. Well done, Aussie Jones. Bell onto it now. Breaks the low tackle. Bell's little left footer. Only as far as Burke. Fielded it like a cricketer. Well done to Thompson. It was a good handball. Thompson's been important. He steadies up. Pops at the centre half forward. Heatley too good for Pike. Well, Peter McKernan, you talked about him a moment ago. He's probably right now the best kick in the competition, and you wouldn't bet against him from here, would you?
Well, a fantastic mark. He's a greatly improved player, Bruce. That was a terrific body mark, and you wouldn't have a better man kicking for goal. He really does kick through the ball, and he's got to kick at 50 metres, though. By the time he lets that ball go, it'll be right on the 50-metre line, Bruce.
Last match of the MCG on a Friday night, he kicked 5 in the first quarter against Melbourne. Finished with a lazy 7 that night. It's close, it's good, it's another one. What a sensational start by the Saints generically, but by Heatley in particular.
Yes, an interesting situation. 13 marks St Kilda have taken to North Melbourne's 3. That's an enormous discrepancy. Their big guys are just able to handle the ball at the moment. St Kilda, their midfield speed. Thompson, who kicked the ball forward, has come onto the ball. Interesting, when he replaced Harvey on the ball, Stevens stayed in the centre square on Thompson, so he's not going to play man-to-man on Harvey.
Concerns for North Melbourne. Saints hot at the moment here at the MCG. Out of the middle, it's Robert Scott for North, down towards half forward, towards Scholl. Shanahan works him hard. Beats him, goes back towards the centre, but it drops short to Anthony Stevens. The boy from Shepparton plays on quickly, goes to the running Roberts, who looks down towards the forward line. North desperate for the next 1 or 2 goals. Socket off the ground. And he's got it. Darren Crocker. Just what they needed. 2 goals to the 30-year-old.
Well, they're just going to take him any way they can at the moment, North. This is a situation where you have just to hang in the game, try not to get too far behind on the scoreboard. St Kilda have started with all the momentum. Interesting, Roberts got forward and got that ball. It looks like Cripps is going to go wherever Roberts goes. Roberts, in fact, lined up in the St Kilda forward line then. Cripps went down with him, but a very good soccer. They just stacked the back line at the moment, North Melbourne. Carey's down there as well. just trying to stop the onslaught.
Well, a very important 5 minutes now in this game. Stevens' kick is smothered in the middle. They lock it up. And at the bottom is Tony Brown.
Yeah, interesting then, North Melbourne started 8 players on the backside, the St Kilda forward side of the centre square, obviously just to try and stop the onslaught to stabilise things.
Daniels pushes it wide towards Aussie Jones. Aussie and Robert Scott. 2 of the quickest boys on their respective sides. And it's over the line on the outer side.
As you can see, that ball is very slippery. Surakoski and Longmire. Longmire hooks it down behind. Burke foxing for a free. Harvey hasn't seen a lot of it. Daniels shrugs a tackle hurriedly, boots it down towards half forward. Up comes Martin, took it full chested, hand passes goalward. Not great policy. Harvey, brilliantly done, great evasion, kicks inside the 50. Pike knocks it onto his own advantage, then slipped over. Winmar making the most of it. Blakey gets him down, great tackle, jarred loose, advantage is paid. Away comes Pike. Pike drives it around the outer side. Wakeland from behind. Big fist away. Brilliantly juggled in front. Daniels controlled it. Got it to Zilla. Run down from behind. No, Allison couldn't bring him down. Zilla towards half forward. Coming at it is Pike. 2-fisted away. Dadalchenko couldn't control it. Came to Stevens. Stevens out wide. Carey trips the light. Fantastic around the boundary. Kicks through the wing. Wakeland again intent on destruction. Hitting the pack hard as Scott. Beats 2 of them from 60 metres out down towards full forward. And the mark is held by Scholl. And Shanahan slipped just as he needed to keep his footing. Craig Scholl, who got them back last week. An important kick here.
Interesting situation. North have mainly been playing Scholl up as a half forward. I think there's a theory that Shanahan's much better as in the genuine fullback position. Try and run around, get him off balance when the ball comes in quickly. I wouldn't say it worked on that occasion, but certainly Shanahan lost contact with Scholl when that quick kick came forward.
Craig Scholl from 30 metres kicks the goal.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation here. Every now and again, Robert Harvey, Jared pointed out before, will pop out of the centre square. Sometimes Andrew Thompson will pop in for a little while. Obviously, Jared pointed out that Nicky Winmar did earlier in the quarter, and it's interesting at the moment because Anthony Stevens, who is Harvey's direct opponent, is actually staying in there, and North are losing, St Kilda are losing contact with their direct opponents a little on those occasions.
So North with a couple of goals. Good effort, they're back in this. Rock's quick kick. Carey front spot, Wakeland against him. Lappin read it pretty well at the front. Boots it out. Well, in fact, did a check side. Brought the ball back in towards the centre. Good pick up on the run by Brown, who's been okay. Kicks to full forward. Heatley front spot. Pike used his good leap there. Built it on by King. Maybe not the right way. Winmar beautifully done. Superbly done. Goes for goal. 45 metres out. Kicks a gem. Unbelievable. Thrilling. Sensational effort by Winmar. 6-3. Jared, some analysis of the North Melbourne back line.
Yeah, what a great goal from Nicky, but the ball will come back to the centre, and this is what the Saints will have to penetrate. Notice they've got all their midfielders across the defensive side, but Carey here, Roberts, and also their fullback Mickey Martin there. You would think that Carey should pop back into that space just to add a little bit more defensive coverage.
So the Saints have shown they can answer the challenge and answer it very, very quickly. Couple of minutes remaining in this first term. Longmire edged out, socket off the ground initially and then picked up by Rock down towards the forward line. Can North go again? Pressure on Maxie Hudson. Hudson pushes towards the line. Throw in the left forward pocket for the North Melbourne. As the Saints bench. Waiting his chance is Matthew Young, who turned 25 on Wednesday. But now the throw-in. Carey to do the work. Wins it with the right hand. Burke, a backhander, flips it towards the line and Scholl sees it over. The rain that was persistent throughout the afternoon has cleared in the last hour. as Wakeland and Carey. They lock arms. It doesn't stop Carey getting a hand to it. Beckett a short little boot, only as far as King. He's in trouble. Has to give a little ground. Still in trouble. Then goes right across the ground. Harvey tried to spoil Stevens, wasn't effective. Robert Scott gets claim. Away comes Jack Daniels. He's had a big first quarter, Daniels. Jones to the outer side, towards Barry Hall. Picks it up beautifully with the one hand, then flicks it round the shoulder. Finds Harvey. Robert Harvey, forward of centre wing, will look down towards the danger half-forward zone. Hurriedly picked up by Cripps. He gives it back towards Daniels. Daniels flicks it down towards the forward line. He wanted Heatley, but Martin is there, and Mickey defends.
Boy, we saw an interesting situation there on the half-back line for St Kilda. It looked like Stevens might mark the ball, but it was spoiled by Harvey. And St Kilda took possession, and Harvey raced to the St Kilda half-forward line and left Stevens behind by about 25 metres. I tell you, Harvey's running power is going to really find Stevens out.
21 points the margin there. The umpires picked out a free kick, Johnny Russo.
Andrew Coates called play on, and Dave Howlett actually paid the free kick from the mid-zone for holding.
And it's Martin to take it. Kicks up towards centre wing. Bell came in from the side. He couldn't take it, while Lappin came in for St Kilda, and that socket out of the ground on the full. Burke to bring it back into play. No, he'll give it to his teammate in Tony Brown.
Youngest man on the ground tonight, playing very well. Sixth possession down towards half forward. King, though. Or is it Simpson? It's Simpson who's taken the mark. Plays on. Roberts drives it towards the outer side. Scott is the target, almost. Played a free kick. No play goes on. Danilchenko, Longmire hurriedly down towards half forward. Shanahan knocks it away from Scholl. It's back inside the centre square. Allison falling to the ground, clubbed the ball to Scholl. Opportunity for Freeborn. Freeborn inside the 50. Hutchton missed it behind Carey. Throws it on the boot. It bounces. It's good. That's a lifter.
It's as good as Winmar's, isn't it?
Well, I think, as you mentioned, a lifter was the correct word for it. They're not getting many opportunities at the moment, North Melbourne. You can see 6 goals, 9 scoring shots. But when they've had shots at goal, when they've had even half opportunities, and that's all this was, one step, turn, cross the body, goal, that these 4 straight goals when the game is going against them have kept North in touch on the scoreboard, which is the most important thing.
They're right there, aren't they, Lee? It's 6-4 at quarter time, basically. Free kick out of the centre going to North. So very late in the term, could they get the late goal? Longmire kicks the ball to centre half forward. They need a mark here. Carey gets into position, can't take it. It was a great quarter. St Kilda hit North with everything, and North came back like the champion it is, and said, you're going to have to do even more to put us away. We're far from gone. 6-3 to 4 goals. It's 39-24.
Through the midfield, and also Jones putting his body in, and also Robert Harvey was spoken to quite harshly as well.
Peter Bell out of the centre as we start the second quarter in the preliminary final. The handball was good. Came to Brown, to Zill, I should say. Martin. It came from Cook, the handball. Now King at half-back. Good kick, belts it long. Bell kept his eye on it. Harvey did very well. Aussie Jones inboard. Very hard to turn on a night like tonight. Carey's been important. Back to Bell. Good kick in the centre half forward. And that's a courageous mark by Rock, because it took a long time to get to him, and he could have heard them coming. Rock kicks in towards about 30 metres from goal. Allison trying to shut. Scholl's lost his boot off the ground. Through from behind. Scholl without a boot. And it's a point. There's Shanahan. So North with their first minor score of 4-1 to 6-3. It's 39-25.
We just that situation with Lappin and King. The matchups have swapped over. King has gone on to Winmar, and now Blakey has actually taken Lappin.
So Pickett for the first time tonight to bring him back in.
That shoulder of Wayne Carey's really being tested out tonight. He brings it back into play. It's marked by Jason Cripps. Back to Peckett again, across to Robert Harvey. If it sits, he's in business. So is St Kilda. Thompson does the shepherding. He looks down towards Winmar. Past him towards King. And he's quite happy to see it over the line, despite a couple of words from bounding Barry Hall.
And interesting, at the moment, Robert Harvey has had 5 kicks. That's his 5 possessions. But it's interesting, he just is dropping Anthony Stevens off in those long surges when the ball's in motion.
St Kilda have it in their attacking zone, in right half forward. McMartin was beaten. Anthony Rock a chance here, although he's under pressure from Tony Brown. Winmar sneaks in, tries to get it across to Thompson, just keeps it in play. Now does it nicely, has to be quick. Snaps a goal! Oh, we're seeing all the excitement here tonight at the MCG. On the other side of the ground, high in the stand, is a former champ, Peter McKernan. Pete?
Well, St Kilda are looking quite dangerous up forward, Sandy, particularly with Thompson. He's a terrific support act for Heatley and Lowe because he's so tough and hard at the ball at ground level, Sandy.
King brings it back in. Danilchenko tries to tap it forward. Now he's beaten. Freeborn goes in for the assist. Zilla over the top of him. Danilchenko again heads towards the line. Harvey is outpointed by Blakey. Sockers at 10 or 20 metres. Stevens ridden over the line. There'll be a throw in on centre wing.
That was interesting. You could see that Stevens was going to reach the ball before Burke, so Burke just went at his body, knocked him out of the road, drew the ball in.
Saints by 15 points. Tossed in. Cook. Won it well to Burke. Very high kick. It floats back. They come from all directions. They met in the middle. It spills down to Lappin. Lappin inside the centre square, kicking inside the 50. Ill-directed though. King takes on Winmar. Aided behind a strong shepherd there by Bell. Meantime, King goes towards half forward. Missed by Peckett. Contorting himself and doing well. Wakeland got it to Daniels. Across it comes to Harvey. Harvey's hand pass was good. Daniels confronted. Great shepherd by Peckett in there. Put in some space. It comes to Shanahan. Shanahan goes to the wing. There's Freeborn moving gingerly. Meantime, the ball goes across the boundary on the wing.
What about that high mark in centre field? There was 4 players. They came from all points of the compass and they all had their eyes on the ball. Just a fantastic exhibition of courage from all of them.
And one of them was Barry Hall. Look out.
Gee, I'll tell you what, Barry gave David King a gobful. It was interesting. Daniels kicks it out on the full. It's been good though, Daniels. His handling of the ball, a wet ball in the first quarter, was outstanding for somebody who we don't recognise his skills at times. But he's a goer and a good player. Anderson's kick just inside centre wing. Read by Stevens, concedes ground actually. Scott, who had one very important play in the opening quarter, back to Freeborn. He kicked 3 in the second quarter of the grand final. Wouldn't they like that now? Hutchinson was just terrific there. He was out of position and he got his arm around. Shanahan off the ground. Blakey's onto it. It's a long way from goal. He's ridden into the ground. Boundary throw in.
And that spoil of Hutchinson has, in fact, prevented a North Melbourne goal. Anthony Rock had got clear 10 metres behind that situation. Crocker was trying to actually shepherd the ball to allow it to run on, but terrific play by Hutchinson.
Keogh on for Barry Hall, and he'll be keen to get in the thick of things. Rod Keogh, Bell to Danilchenko. Hurried left foot snap goes down towards the forward line once again. Daniels has been sensational. Marvellous first quarter by Jack Daniels. Goes to the outer side. Stephen Zilla leads in the race for St Kilda. Freeborn gives chase, but Zilla's got his measure. Looks up over centre wing, up towards Heatley. One grab couldn't take it. Pike tries to belt it clear. Zilla goes again. Ridden into the ground. A curve ball, and he's gone.
Too long. Prior opportunity, didn't dispose of the ball by kicking or handball, so had to be penalised for incorrect disposal.
Umpire David Howlett sees the ball now with Martin Pike. The boy who started with the Norwood Football Club in South Australia.
Zilla has the footy, just hangs on to it far too long and doesn't get it out.
Gang tackle. Scholl marks in front. Just forward of centre wing. He goes towards the 50. Almost the one-hander to Carey. Allison gives him assistance. He's dangerous here. He should goal for North. Deadly from there. And North, with Allison getting his 41st for the season, stay in touch.
Yes, interesting. They are staying in touch, and that's about all they're doing. I'm looking over the field, and I reckon in every position, St Kilda will probably at least the equal, if not got the pace advantage. Certainly then Allison was able to turn onto his left foot and drop Peckett off. But they're going to have to win a lot of the ball North, and they're going to have to mark it because on pace they're down.
Stan Alds would not be happy. 2 players buying the right side there for Allison when he came back on the left. Instinct can get you in trouble. Another ball up. There's Burke. Made his debut against the Tigers back in '87. Was a Richmond fan. Went home and ripped down all the posters off the wall. It's a great story. He helps the ball on its way down towards half forward. Coming through is King. Sockers it back towards the middle. Loose ball to Zilla. Zilla gains about 25 metres. Awkward bounce for Bell. Danilchenko thumps it. Taken by Roberts. Now it's with Bell once more. Playing well again tonight as he kicks it towards the outer side. Daniels, he's inspired. Back towards half forward. Well done by Brown. Deflected the ball onto Bell. And from there it goes across the line.
It was Daniels' 12th possession. He certainly is inspired, Dennis. He's having a big night.
Little or no emotion all around. 15 minutes till half-time. Martin in front. Keogh on the ground. Martin had the ball on his back there for a moment. A whistle and a ball up. Anderson getting a backhander from Keogh. Thrown up, half forward, knocked down by Lowe. In trouble down there was Keogh. Got it across to Burke. Spills wide to Cripps. Cripps kicks inside the 50. Heatley in front, fisted away by Pike. Opportunity there for Simpson. Went to ground. Heatley put the body in, grabbed by Blakey.
Little kick back into the centre. Good cut off there by Cook. Well done off the ground though by North Melbourne, by Blakey. They did this so well against Geelong when it got wet in the second half on the Sunday night final. Jones, who started well, keeps it cleverly along the line. Could easily have kicked it out on the full. There's Craig Scholl with him. And it'll be a boundary throw in at centre wing. All Australian Aussie Jones. With Robert Scott tonight. Change for North. Chandler coming on the ground. Simpson off. Cook got his hand to it. Zilla has been run down a couple of times, but he's played all right. Keogh on his right side, the left foot. Clever. Winmar. Still Nicky in trouble. Handball okay. Thompson tried to squeeze it out off the ground by Bill. North doing a lot of it in defence particularly. Good handball wide. Rocks kick back to centre half forward. Wakeland was held onto, I felt anyway, and he took the mark. Plays on to Zilla. The Saints taking chances. Zilla kicks the ball to about 60 metres. Front spot, Brown had a bit of it. Burke through his legs. Onto it now in a hurry, and it's going to be a bounce down. 9 points the difference.
I like the way Wakeland attacked the ball, and he didn't worry about Carey's body, and he actually went at the ball and marked it, because Carey was trying to establish the body contact. That's the way he likes to play the game, but you've got to get your hands on the ball if you can. Good play by Wakeland.
Lowe wins it. 13 and a half minutes remaining in this first half. Stevens from a standing start. Anthony Stevens down towards the middle. Shanahan was an effective spoiler. Could be a free kick for holding on there. Will be taken by Freeborn. Freeborn kicks wide. Good kick towards Longmire. 60 metres out. North hanging on. 9 points the margin. Centering towards Darren Crocker. 1, 2 grabs. Can't hold it long enough. And Peckett tidies up for St Kilda. Comes towards his skipper on centre wing. Nathan Burke has possession now. Tries to pull it inside to Stuart Lowe. He's clean bowled. Roberts follows up for North Melbourne. Rides one, gets through another. And a delightful kick finds Longmire. The horse in towards centre half forward. Saints have the numbers. Peckett front spot.
Push paid.
Justin Peckett will steady it down. From centre half back, he comes wide towards Burke. Takes it in front of Peter Bell. Testing time now for St Kilda, with North challenging within 9 points. Brown could have copped a high one. King comes through and heads to the boundary line. Tony Brown, meantime, picks himself up.
Could have, did you say? He would argue and say, yes, I did.
Tony Shaw and Nathan Buckley, who on the left is the Brownlow medal favourite, or one of them. I'm sure that Robert Harvey might have something to say about that. But you'll see that on 7 on Monday night.
Shepherding paid by David Howland to Stewie Lowe.
Still a long way out, Stewie, just forward of centre wing. But he heads towards the danger zone as far as North is concerned. Heatley's forced to defend and then asks the question. And 40 or 50,000 St Kilda fans cried ball, but that call is ignored.
Yes, it's just a lot of arms flying around in the middle of those packs.
The game very much in the balance. The loser is out. They're playing accordingly. Lowe directs it down to Brown. Off balance, pulls it back. It's floating towards the square. Back goes Pike. Through for a behind. The Saints increase their lead. 6-5 to 5-1. Probably on play. Should be further in front. That's the danger against North. They score their goals quickly. Rock comes away. Only 2 hand passes to half-time last week. He's been busier tonight. Danilchenko does well. He's on the wing. 41 to 31. Saints in front. Danilchenko long down towards half forward. Cook reaches over the top. Thompson comes away from half back. High kick towards half forward. In best position is Roberts. Knocked away by Cripps. Winmar made something out of nothing. Gets it back to Cripps at close quarters. Gave it away. Anderson goes to Roberts. Roberts, the little chip pass comes to King. King likes a run. He's at half back. Kicks it through the centre square. Hall is waiting to come on. Bounces off the shoulder of Longmire. Picked up by the lumbering Cook. Throws it on the boot. It goes to Keogh in midfield. Had to break a tackle and he did. He's through. He runs to 55. He's a good kick normally. Goes long down towards Lowe. And he's taken the mark. He's taken the mark 10 metres out directly in front. Big Stewie.
Mickey Martin trying to suggest that he touched it.
Yeah. Well, that's really what you expect of your key forwards. The ball was driven in. Stuart Lowe maybe had a 50-50 chance, no more. But he was just good enough. Eyes hard on the ball, you could see it. Never took his eyes off the ball. One grab down into his chest. Your key forwards take that kind of mark. It helps win your games.
There's King. And what about Rod Keogh through the middle? Took on the tackler. Braced himself. Do you think you're good enough, son? No. Here's Lowe to convert then. Going at his second. Very important goal.
Yes, I thought the interesting situation as Keogh came forward at the front of the centre square. He had Aussie Jones running with him, and we might see it here. Here we see Keogh pick up the ball. Aussie Jones was just on his outside. If I was a Stan Elves, I would have said, Keogh, give the ball to Aussie, because I reckon Aussie would have taken off through the 50-metre line. But as it was, they've scored the goal. So all's well that ends well.
Crocker off, Harvey coming on. 7-5 to 5-1. Big goal by Lowe. Harvey gets a touch through the centre. Winmar box seat. Great mark. Terrific grab. He was fantastic, I felt, in the first quarter, Winmar. King has exposed him a little in this quarter. It was interesting a moment ago too, Lee, with King tried to put the tackle, as we see Harvey in this great mark, tried to put the tackle on Keogh. On a night like tonight, it's very hard to hold your ground. Yeah. He just couldn't hold it, could he?
Particularly in the centre square where it's that soft turf. Winmar, though.
Great shot of the kick and a beautiful goal. 2 to Winmar and 2 to the Saints in about a minute and a half. And they've re-established a break, haven't they? Gerard Heatley, who's doing our video analysis tonight.
Bruce, you described the tackle of King on Rod Keogh. You see here that King in a position, takes the gamble, leaves Winmar down here, doesn't make the tackle, and this is what Rod Keogh should have done, I think, and that's pass it over to Nicky Winmar. He blazes away, as you see. Fortunately for him, it comes up with a mark to Stewie Lowe, who goals.
53 plays 31. Saints fans are roaring again as pressure mounts on young Harvey. He's cleaned up. They try and surge it out of the middle, rugby style. It's down towards Cripps at half forward. Heatley is pumped up. He's doing the tackling. Harvey's okay. The youngsters picked himself up. And Dennis Pagan and Mark Dawson Co have their concerns. The reigning champs are in trouble here in this preliminary final. David Howlett decides to throw it up. Mark Roberts tries to belt it towards Harvey. He's overrun. Ziller on all fours. Tries to get it out. He's got Harvey. Tries to chop his way clear. Can't do so. Ziller now has to work hard. And he does to try and get it out. Roberts off the ground towards the boundary line. Only as far as Harvey. Gone.
Well, I suppose it had to happen in that instant. Maybe 10 seconds before, it looked like Robert Harvey had been caught cold. Somehow or other he had managed to handball it clear. He doesn't get caught holding the ball very often, does Robert Harvey.
Brett Chandler kicks down towards half forward. Once again it's Freeborn, and once again North Melbourne's got to do something if they're going to stay in touch at the long break. Shanahan works hard, but so too does Scott. He's beaten. Jones tries to soccer off the ground, only as far as Nathan Burke. Back to Jones again. St Kilda out of trouble. He heads towards Lappin, caught behind and forcing it over the line is Johnny Blakey playing in front. Throw in on the outer side. As the St Kilda hierarchy look on, and they see once again their champ get caught.
There's Harvey taken front on, averaging 30 possessions a game this season. The Brownlow favourite. That's up from 28 last year, 26 in 95. Martin gets a free from half back towards half forward. Carey, great grab, shielding the ball as he approached it. Wayne Carey, they need a lift. He pulls it back towards the middle. Up the ground, Longmire. Awkward half volley comes to Scholl. Blanketed by Shanahan. Play on's the call. Jones over the top. Punches it wide. This is Harvey. He's claimed. Comes to Daniels. Great poise in defence. Zilla towards the wing. Blakey did well. Hit the ground running. Blakey through the centre square. Probing kick. Allison almost. Knocked away by Burke. Burke and Bell. No concessions in there. Two tough customers. There's Peter Bell coming off a team-high 29 possessions last week against the West Coast Eagles. And busy again tonight. Tossed up by the umpire. Cooked it pretty well. Hudson heads for the boundary in two minds. Well, really only one. Took it across.
53-31, 8-5 to 5-1. Big crowd, over 70,000 you'd expect. Most with the Saints. They just have such a big following, and the sentimental vote. Bell off the ground. Are behind. They improvise very well, North Melbourne, in conditions like this.
That's what they're doing, I think, though, Bruce. They just can't really get any impetus from anywhere. They're just sort of hanging in there, scunging shots at goal. It just seems all over the field the St Kilda players are winning in most positions.
There's a goal post cam, as we saw Peckett short to Harvey. It's almost been like a Brownlow week for Harvey, I feel, don't you? He's had so many celebrations. I mean, publicly, not privately. Good handball by Stevens. Great mark. Beautiful mark by Peckett. Stevens' handball was to Scholl, and Peckett switches it to Darryl Wakeland. This is a good play. Inboard. They need to be clean here, and if they are, they could sting. Thompson's kick is not all that good. Winmar came from the side. Bouncing ball. Lappin. King over the top of him. Off the ground by Pike. Not far enough. Jones. Little kick is a good one. Gives Winmar the run of it. But Martin was there. Then a quick high kick away. Still in the danger zone for North. Well done by Aussie to build it away. Now it's with Harvey. Goes back. Finds Blakey, and North get out of it.
John Blakey steadying kick goes in towards the centre. Brett Allison can't take the diving mark, but he pushes forward and it does it well to accommodate his teammate there in Anderson. Wide to the outer side, and Carey. Carey looks further downfield. Allison has made space in the pocket, and the dangerous forward will go back and have a shot. 40 metres out.
Well, it didn't quite work for St Kilda, but when Peckett marked the ball, he beat three North Melbourne opponents. So when there's a one beats three, all of a sudden your two teammates are clear, and that was why St Kilda were able to carry it off their half-back line. But basically on the rebound, it's North players who've got clear.
Brett Allison, while not forefront in his mind, would know that a win to North Melbourne tonight, he plays his 200th game in the grand final. But at the moment, he's just concerned about this kick. Peter McKernan is right there with him. Pete?
Yes, Sandy. He's put his mark about 10 metres in front. He'll run to the mark. He never kicks them high, Allison. He'll kick it low, Sandy.
He's done that. North are desperate for a goal. They've got it. They hang on as Brett Allison gets his second, both coming in this second term. 6-2 plays 8-5.
Yes, he's always a dangerous player, Brett Allison. They've just been rotating their forward line, North Melbourne. Sometimes Allison's been at full forward. They always just try and get mismatched down there. But that was really somehow or other Wakeland got separated from Carey. and then that was Allison up the field dropping back. But really it was the St Kilda players losing possession on the way out of defence created that goal.
Well, North like a clinging vine. They're hanging on. The Saints can't get rid of them. Stevens dragged to the ground. Harvey off his step, floats it down towards half forward. Lappin controlled it pretty well. In fact, it was brilliant. Lays it off to Cripps. 55 metres out. Hall is up in front of Danilchenko. Had the better balance. Strong tackle applied by Scott. And the umpire says he had no chance of getting rid of it.
I think David Howlett just gave Barry Hall the benefit of the doubt then, because he really didn't have a prior opportunity to dispose of it. Didn't really take the player on. And so in these conditions, I think that's reasonable. I mean, he's tackled virtually as soon as he picks up the footy. No prior opportunity, reasonable to bounce the footy.
Great reflexes from Hall in effect. Down it comes to Rock, who feeds it wide. This is Harvey to a teammate in Daniels. Daniels slips as he kicks, gained about 10 metres. Bell hurriedly upended by Burke, boots it back towards the wing. It bounces obligingly for Scholl. Scholl to Rock. Rock off his step towards half forward. Awkward bounce for Allison. Carey onto the loose ball. 50 out. Vacant goal square. It's through. That's his second.
Well, they're hanging in North. There's no doubt they're hanging in. I mean, they're only 9 points behind on the scoreboard, and really I think St Kilda have looked by far the better team. But this situation here, they just forced the ball forward, and this is Carey's mobility. He had the yard on Wakeland. He took possession with a yard to spare and then bounced the ball in the goal square, of course, to goal. That's the thing about Wayne Carey. Strong in the body, but very agile at ground level as well.
He's got a great finals record. Big goal scorer in finals. He's kicked 11 goals in this final series so far. The Saints now suddenly need the next one because the momentum has switched. Daniels wide to Lappin. The Saints are best tonight when they don't chip, when they kick it long like North. When they chip, they get into trouble. Lappin's kick. Heatley had a fair go, but good effort, Scott. Paid to Heatley at the back of Scott. Gee, he must have wrapped his hands around it over the top.
Certainly looked like it from here, Bruce.
Good
I thought
fly.
Heatley had more of the footy.
It was the big player, the taller player, jumping over the top of the smaller player.
Gee, Scotty's body was there.
I think he got his hand towards it, Scott. I think he grabbed it, brought the ball down.
Well, this is a big kick. It's not beyond him. His run-up's not perfect, though. He'll get out of the centre square pretty quickly. We go behind him here. He's 55 metres out. It's a big kick. It's coming back. He's got it, no. Right on the line. Kicked through by North. Behind. Oh. Goal umpire goes down. Hits the deck. Picks himself up and does it bravely. Belts the post and says it's a point. Gee, I got carried away looking behind Heatley. Next time I better have a look and see where the ball is.
I don't blame you, Bruce, with the theatrics that were going on down at that end of the ground.
North coming back, though, 8-6 to 7-2. They trailed at half-time last week by 20 points. They're much closer tonight, deep into the first half.
David King has given the word. Goes to the outer pocket, and Anthony Stevens. Stevens kicks under pressure. He's turned it over here. St Kilda a chance in towards Stuart Lowe, and he takes the mark.
You should see Stevens with Danilchenko. Sandy, he raced at Danilchenko, belted him in the chest to Anthony Stevens, and really told him about it.
I think what had basically happened there, Stevens took off, but Burke was able to overtake him. And I think Stevens, the kick almost got tackled because Stevens was waiting for Danilchenko to lead, and he didn't move for him, and that's what made him unhappy.
He's not the only one that's having a go at him. The bottom line is that Stuart Lowe can again stretch this lead. At the moment it is 10 points. He has 2 to his name. 1 in the first, 1 in the second. 51 goals for the season. Stony, ashen face of Dennis Pagan. And in contrast, a study in concentration, Stuart Lowe. This for number 3. He's got it. They steady again.
Well, I think that's what you call a pressure goal. Game in the second quarter, mark the ball. And have a look at here, Stevens. The chase by Burke was just tremendous, though, and that turned the ball over. I don't know, Danilchenko got clear. Maybe Stevens was expecting too much of him, but he certainly wasn't happy. He said, go wide. But I think Burke's speed created the turnover.
16 points the margin. St Kilda leads. Roberts jumps a little early. Important to see who can win it out of the middle. Sierakowski lands on his rump, but he does get a kick down towards half forward. Bell defends to the outer side. Only as far as Harvey. Daniels been the busiest player on the ground. Stevens has had plenty to say. Again tries soccer tactics. Goes again, but this time he's got to apply the tackle on Keogh. Chandler's kick is only short. Roberts towards left half forward. Precious seconds tick away as North tries to close the gap through Carey. He loses it. Thompson, Shanahan, back towards centre wing and Roberts again.
David away. Burke towards half forward. Winmar in from the side. Didn't touch the ball. Ball's in front. Lappin lays it off. Burke again right on the 50. Fumbled. Chance for Blakey in trouble. Tried to give it to Pike. Lappin goes again. Ball up on the 50. Breathless. The margin is 16 points. 36 seconds out from half-time. A promoter's dream. The sentimental favourites and the reigning champs. All or nothing tonight. Sierakowski slaps it wide, but straight to Blakey. Blakey onto the boot towards midfield. Pitches in the glue pot. Runs on. Harvey through the middle. Harvey inside the 50. Harvey. Allison. A thorn in the side of the Saints tonight. He's got two.
Sorry, Dennis, it reminded me so much of the mark he took against Geelong. A finger tipper, used his body late when Carey banked it in at the other end of the ground.
And Carey just was able to keep the ball running forward. In these slippery conditions, got to keep it running forward, but Allison just lent his right side into Peckett, was able to just push him off the line of the ball, reach out, pluck it in with two hands. He's a pretty good body-to-body mark, Allison, much better than you would think.
Well, bit of discussion over where the mark is here. Andrew Coates asking David Howlett to come up and show him where the mark is. And Brett Ellison putting in his two bombs worth as well.
And Justin Peckett pointing back towards the centre. Peter McKernan watching this one.
He does that every time. Asks the umpire where the mark is, Brett Ellison. Then he puts his own mark and he kicks exactly on that mark. He keeps the ball very low.
42 goals for this season. Make it 43. 8 in the finals. In keeping with the drama of this first half, a goal after the siren, and North Melbourne kept on coming. 3 goals in the term.
There's a lot of discussion going on. Stewie Lowe suggesting to Mark Nash that the ball was touched. And in fact, all of the St Kilda players suggesting to Andrew Coates, the umpire in control of the mark, that it was in fact touched. But obviously the all-clear has been given and the goal will stand.
He does kick it low, as Pete McKernan said, and it did look almost from where we were as if it might have been touched on the way through. Allison's goal, his third for the quarter, by the way, like Freeborn did in the grand final. As the Saints go off, what a first half. Just 10 points in front. They probably deserve to be more. It's the efficiency of North, isn't it? It has kept them there.
Interesting too, Bruce.
Now we're going to have another look at this kick. Judge for yourself. Did Peckett touch it on the way through? Gee, it's close.
I'd say there's a fair chance he did, but I must say, John, I've said it many times, when the ball only touches fingertips, the player who touches the ball knows he's touched it, but it's very hard for anyone else close to the vicinity to tell.
Yeah,
actually, Lee.
Peter McKernan, did you actually see that from where you were?
Yes, my feeling was that it was touched because I thought the trajectory of the ball didn't go like a normal drop punt. I thought that was the giveaway.
Yeah, the spin of the ball changed as it got past Peckett. That's the thing, Pete. Well called.
The bottom line is, it matters not.
Exactly.
Well, Dennis, you said a promoter's dream. That just adds one little more notch to it. Jared Heatley with the video analysis of that situation there, Jared.
Well, I've just got another view of it, Bruce, if it's any value back home. You do see it, he gets very close, and I agree with you. It does look as if the spin on the ball just deviated somewhat.
Well, North Melbourne within 10 points at the long break. It's 9-6 to 8-2. What a half. Longmire in the ruck. Tackle by Keogh on lock. And so North Melbourne here kicking to the left of Streen. The thing that the Saints didn't do to them, they didn't put them away, did they? They led 8-5 to 5-1. They led 5-3 to a goal. But North would have gone in at half-time believing they could win. They're half the distance away they were last week against West Coast. Admittedly different conditions. Cripps off the ground by Bell. Harvey, good hands to Shanahan, running forward, getting it inside 50. Martin belts it away, pushes the ball out to King. King on the up. Torpedo punt off the side, out on the full. Not a good kick, actually.
And one must say, Mickey Martin's one of the few players who punts from the front position. He gets in defence. He didn't even try to mark the ball. Probably could have.
Keogh pops it up, just forward of centre wing. Blakey probably should have taken the mark. He was uncontested. He'll be disappointed. Out of play. Good player, Blakey. Missed 2 matches in 4 seasons. North Melbourne. Not big stats normally, but he always has a job to do. Kangaroo fans everywhere, but they are outnumbered here by the Legion of Saints supporters. Ball on the ground. Jones and Scott. It's been an interesting duel. Comes out between the legs. Burke, little handball was good. Keogh round the body. Inside 50. Can Winmar get a handle on it? King to the boundary line. And for the second time, probably a bit unlucky that time, out on the full.
The St Kilda chasing speed, I think, is troubling North. They've been a bit panicky with the ball. North made a lot of errors through lack of composure.
Jones kick in towards the big guns. Low haul, didn't jump. Robert Harvey, a chance. He gives it away towards Winmar. A standing start by Nicky Winmar is wide. 11 points the margin.
And at the start of this third quarter, no dramatic changes. The 2 ruckmen, Longmire still in the ruck for North and Serakowski in there for St Kilda. Most of the other matchups are the same as for the second quarter. Zilla's probably the one change, gone on to Allison, playing deep in the St Kilda backline.
North Melbourne's only All-Australian player, David King. Heads to the outer side. Fine grab taken by Johnny Longmire. Can he start something? Bell almost kicks into the man on the mark. Scott tries to make amends. It's socket off the ground. St Kilda have got the numbers here. Here goes Oz. 60 metres out. He pumps it long and high. Low comes over the top. Goes again. And defensively pushed over the line by Martin Pike. Desperate stuff. Another behind is the bottom line. 9-8 plays 8-2.
Just fantastic evasion, isn't it? Sold the dummy and just the acceleration. And importantly, probably a 60-metre kick off one step.
Such an exciting young player. As King this time goes to the outer side again. He wandered a long mile. Abbott picks it up, however, and he gives it to Oz again. He'll go for the second time. Heatley, yes, another one. Oh. Right on the line. He's paid St Kilda get that 10-8 plays 8-2.
Well, I suppose Jason Heatley would have been in 2 minds whether in fact just to let the ball carry through. He decided to mark it, and of course then it's close to whether he's actually gone over the goal line, but I think as long as you touch the ball, John, before the line, they're quite happy to pay the goal.
No doubt it was a goal.
Heatley's got 4. The margin up to 18 points now. Longmire couldn't control it. Down goes Stevens. Cripps dives in. Feeds it to Harvey. He's getting busy. Harvey out of the middle inside the 50. Danilchenko leads in the race. Keeps it in front. He was held without it, was he?
Free kick paid at the centre of the ground by Mark Nash.
Going back to the middle.
Paid against Jason Cripps. And Jason Cripps not happy about it. Paid by the umpire, Mark Nash, at the other end of the ground.
A long way off the ball. Here's Roberts. Down towards half forward. Carey. Wakeland's done well. Did brilliantly there to get a boot to it. Stevens over the ball. Crashing in Sirakowski. Down goes Burke. Was he pushed in the back? Not according to the umpire. Sirakowski. Slowly to his feet. Ball up. Down towards half forward for North. Longmire props in front. Sirakowski wins the battle low. Rock in trouble. Upended. Hand passes wide. Jones sockers it down towards half forward. Blakey at the second attempt. Longmire off his step down towards half forward. Burke's in the road.
Safe hands, aren't they? Safe chest. Mr. Reliable Burke. Kicks it as hard as he can to Barry Hall. Good fly, good grab. That's exciting and promising. Saints have come out as they did in the opening term. That's just a high, up and under, low, good grab though. So clean there. Burke to Hall to Low. Is that 50? No. Winmar getting involved. Now, Pete McKenna, you're in a good position here. This is going to really stretch Stewie Lowe from here.
Yes, I don't think he can make the distance, Bruce. I don't want to put the mockers on him, but he is not a long kicker. He'll have to kick from 50. My bet is that he'll land up in the goal square. It'll go close, but I think he might just not make it.
Heatley telling them to get out of the goal square at the moment. He's there. He provides a lead. Lowe's had a very good match. He's kicked 3 goals.
It looks like he's going to have a go at it, Stewie. He's got that focus on his face that he's not really looking to give it off. He's looking to kick the goal.
He's kicked well tonight. Not from this distance, mind you. Right at 51. It's a good kick. It's a very good kick. It's hit the post, is it? Touched. Might have just. It's either hit the post or touched. Jared, some more video analysis of what you've seen so far in this half.
Yes, we're just having a look at David King here. Here he is with Nicky Winmar. He's an attacking defender, but generally takes the front position. And you see the way that Winmar now can just get away from him, and he will end up with the football. David King here, still 5 metres away from his direct opponent. He's just let him go a little bit easily. Doesn't kick the goal, but nearly cost them.
From the kick out, Jared, a throw in on a right half forward. Roberts looking for front spot. At the back was Chandler towards centre wing. Oh, the Iceman. Shanahan came over the top. Jack Daniels has ripped off the ball. So too is Cripps. Back to Shanahan again. Kicks into the man on the mark. Sierakowski looks as though he's having dancing lessons at the moment. Here's Daniels once more. He's been inspirational and sensational. Robert Harvey. The magic of Harvey. Look at this kick. In towards goal. But not quite coming back enough. Wonderful attempt and another behind. The Saints lead threatening early on in this third term. King. Stevens was his target. Well done by Thompson. Very, very determined young man.
Was well done, wasn't it? He turned his body, and it's very hard to run with the flight of the ball, so you don't give away the free kick.
Just how dangerous is this period for North Melbourne? We saw West Coast establish a break at this time last week.
Well, yes, it's going to be hard to wind them in. They just look so quick, St Kilda. As we say, North have hung in there for the first half, but really when the ball starts to flow, it seems to be St Kilda team that are getting the numbers around the ball. They're just running that much quicker and that much harder.
Twice the scoring shots, 20-10.
And the margin, 20 points on centre wing after Stevens' kick dribbled over the line. Roberts and Cripps. Slapped by Chandler to accommodate Stevens. Again, hurriedly gets boot to ball and bounces it just in front of the line. Well, Anthony Stevens with 2 short kicks has gained probably 30 metres.
Well, I think this is the speed of the St Kilda side. We've talked about it all night, but they're pressurising North Melbourne, and even when they're not there, North players tend to expect them to be there and kicking the ball quickly and making errors.
Here's Harvey in front of the pack, breaks away. He's on the wing. He goes down towards half forward. The target is low, and why not? Spilt the mark. The crumbs to Winmar. Advantage is paid. He pulls it back towards the middle. Some indecision down there. North let it bounce. This is Scott with some time. Kicks it towards the outer side to a contest. Allison tried to lay it down for Anderson. Did pretty well. Anderson to Scholl. The hand pass comes across to Harvey. Harvey props on the wing. Kicks inside the 50. Carey. Great grab. Strength.
Yes, he just picked the flight of the ball, didn't he? Leant into Zilla, kept Zilla away from the line of the ball, and that falling chest mark we see Wayne Carey take so often. Just takes it one step back into Wakeland. Good enough.
And just outside the 50, Carey slides it across the face, off hands, down in front. Who's got the recovery? Hudson falling to the ground. Gave it across to Zilla. Zilla off his step, back to Carey. He's further out this time. Carey from about 60 decides to centre the ball. Sierakowski in best position. Thumped out of there by Thompson. Only as far as Roberts. And luck's a fortune. Crocker has marked about 35 metres out. He's booted 2. At half-time, the margin was 10 points. It's out to 20 now. And this season, North Melbourne have won 2 out of 11 when they trailed at half-time. But, of course, most recently, they did it 6 days ago. Can they do it again tonight? Darren Crocker. An economical play. Wide the kick. It's tight. I think he's missed. He has.
3 kicks, 2 goals, 1. That one was gettable, wasn't it? 10-10, 8-3.
It was a bit of good fortune that he marked the ball, but it was interesting. As he marked the ball, we could see in the camera shot there were 6 St.Kilda jumpers and 1 North Melbourne jumper, and I think that's indicative of the run in the legs that St.Kilda have been displaying all night.
When Hodgson decides to go on, they are confident. Takes a bounce after Pekka kicked in another one. That looked awkward. Back to Keogh. They're in trouble. He threw it away. North have got it. This will hurt if they get a goal. Harvey slung off it. They're going to be lucky, the Saints. Cripps, that was untidy at the back. Hodgson and Keogh made a mess of it. Cripps's kick was only a 50-50. What's happening to the Saints just at the moment? Bell in hard. Burke, well done. Got it forward. I think it was touched off the boot anyway. It didn't go out on the forward. Boundary throw in right in front of our position. What a view we have from here. Jared Heatley having a close look at this quarter.
Yes, boundary throw in here, and watch Anthony Stevens not just checking Rob Harvey, and he'll just burst away here. Gives him a nice little push there. That's how to deal with a tag or a boundary throw in, and then scoots away.
Thompson scoots away, and an advantage was given. It's going to come back now, and probably a free kick to the Saints. The advantage was given to Thompson. He didn't realise it, and now it's coming back from that boundary throw in, and Lowe gets the free kick.
The umpire will recall it if the player with the advantage is unable to dispose of the footy.
Kicks the ball to centre half for Barry Hall, a target. Good effort by Pike, and he's taken the mark at centre half back.
What a year for Martin Pike with his new club. Kicks from half back towards King Carey. With him is Wakeland. Scouting is Keogh. Tumbles it through the mud, back towards Cook. It passes him and also Daniels, but Jack Daniels pounces on it again. Now Cook goes in for the assist. Chandler's got it at the bottom of the pack, does eventually get it out, only as far as his teammate there in Stuart Anderson. Well done by Jack Daniels. Having a very, very good night. 10 kicks, 6 hand passes. Carey unable to grab Keogh as Peckett sneaks away. Up towards the left half forward. Winmar was his target. Scott defends. Back to Martin Pike from a standing start off the side of the boot. Back towards Jason Cripps. And somehow he goes out the back door. Cripps has a look up towards centre half forward. Towards Burke. He was in front. Flicked it cleverly over the back to Winmar. Holds it for a long time. Tries to set it up for Burke. And he takes the mark just inside 50. No one on the mark if he wants to go. But he'll go back and kick from just on 50.
It was just terrific composure. Great knock on then by Nathan Burke. The ability to make sure the ball goes your direction. And then Winmar had a look, assessed the options. Burke was the best one.
Veteran of 226 games. He'll bring the house down if he could kick this, but it's not good off the boot. Goes in towards the left forward pocket. Pike will be defending there for North Melbourne. Under plenty of pressure, he gets the kick wide. Too wide for Robert Scott, but he found what he wanted, and that was the boundary line on the outer side.
How many times have we seen that North Melbourne player with the ball, but a scrappy kick coming because the St Kilda tackle's on the way? Certainly Heatley's kicked 4 goals, but he's done an excellent job to stop Pike giving any rebound run out of the North back line as well.
10 minutes to 3/4 time. Cook releases Harvey. Harvey from half forward, just wide of Lowe. It was touched by Lowe. It got to Hall. Heatley from about 40 metres out has got another one. That's 5. And that makes it tough.
Well, sometimes you wonder what makes a player the recruit of the year. I think Jason Heatley might just about be it for St Kilda. 5 goals tonight. He's been a terrific player all year. And again, that ability to mark the ball, but to get the ground level goals. Have a look at this evasion. Harvey carries the ball forward. Just a question, it wasn't quite marked by Lowe. But Heatley, just beautiful ball. And he knows how to finish.
Won't North Melbourne hate Heatley? In 2 matches this year, he's kicked 14 goals against them. Got 9 at Waverley Park, and he's got 5 tonight. That does really hurt. What a star he has been. Daniels tries to go off the ground. This is now serious for North. They trailed by 32 last week on a dry day. They're 25 behind at a similar stage in the match. Harvey and Board didn't quite get the distance. It was touched off the boot. The Saints can go for the kill here, I feel. It's 11-10 to 8-3, 21 shots to 11. They've almost got North Melbourne where they want them. A goal now, and North Melbourne will be staggering. You can't write the champ off. They keep coming back, but the Saints are dealing some big blows in this third quarter. Anderson, hard at him, and a boundary throw-in.
He's added that little bit, Keogh, hasn't he, just to St Kilda's side the last couple of weeks. He added goals last week, but he's hard at the ball. He doesn't mind running into his opponent. Here we see this hefty hip and shoulder, the type of thing that your teammates love to see.
I reckon Mill Hannah's still feeling the one he gave him at Waverley Park 2 years ago at the start of that game when they killed the Blues. Harvey getting a lot of the footy, that out on the fall. So 11-10 to 8-3. So in this all-important quarter, they call the premiership quarter, the Saints have kicked 2 goals and North has added just 1 behind.
21 possessions for Robert Harvey. Oh, the marking power starting to have an effect here as Stuart Lowe takes a magnificent grab and plays on to Daniels, who looks inside 50 once again. The Saints are threatening. Heatley is threatening. He's got Danilchenko and he locks him up. Spills free towards Winmar. Taken in towards the pocket by David King and over the line.
And again, just a fantastic exhibition of tackling we're seeing in the St Kilda forward line. The Lows, the Heatleys, the Halls, even Nicky Winmar. They're just making sure North Melbourne can't get the ball out of their defence with any precision.
The Saints again edge forward. Cook pushes down in front. King goes for the line.
So that's the second one David King's been quite lucky with, I think.
Familiar face.
Sue McIntosh.
Correct. Enjoying the big clash. A St Kilda fan. From the throw-in. Oh, Tony Brown. Jack Daniels!
Oh.
Well, that would have completed his night. The behind takes them to 11-11. North Melbourne are 8-3.
22 scoring shots to 11. I think that probably is the story of the game. North are still in touch because St Kilda haven't been able to kick so accurately.
King to the outer side. Even Normie Goss not allowing himself a smile just yet. Scholl takes the diving mark. He's on halfback. North want a couple of quick goals if they're going to challenge in the final term. Carey's doing all that he can, but look at Barry Hall. He's got him. Forces the ball free and over the line. And forces the King onto the defensive. Hall's pumped. So he should be. Maybe the Saints are on their way from misery to happiness. It's been a long, long time. But there's still a way to go. Free kick's been picked up out of that ruck contest and it's gone the way of St Kilda to be taken by Cook. He looks down towards the half-forward line. Low was the target. Thompson does a Ronald Biggs. He steals it. Oh, the diving mark not quite taken by Nicky Winmar. Daniels tries to go out the back door. He loses it into the middle. In comes Zilla. Claims his man. Lomar over the top to Allison. Allison is caught. He loses it. Desperate play. Hudstone ridden into the ground. This is sensational stuff. Shanahan, a short little kick back in towards the centre once again. Stevens works hard. This time, a chance for North Melbourne. Down towards full forward came the kick from Simpson. Wakeland. Allison down behind play in the meantime. St Kilda out of trouble to Nathan Burke on the outer side.
77 plays 51. Burke wide-eyed on the wing, decides to go. Beats the man on the mark, settles now. Very high kick inside the 50. Heatley is up. Pike just grazed the ball. Bumped out of it was Blakey. Whistle, ball up. Rock and Peckett disputing there. Allison run down and hurt. 6.5 minutes till three-quarter time. St Kilda on the edge of something big right here. The pent-up emotion of so many years. Danilchenko throws it on the boot. It floats towards the centre square. Chandler in from the side. Keogh knocks it onto his own advantage. Chandler fell over. Crashing the pack was Pickett. Nowhere to go. Scott claimed him. Ball up.
The Stuart Lowe tackle. Even the big fellas are laying it on tonight. The tackling pressure of St Kilda is absolutely first class.
He chased him for a long way too, Lee. It was a big play because North looked like getting one against the trend here. They need a goal against the flow. Harvey, big third quarter to the pocket. Low behind Martin. Mickey front spot. Nothing paid there. Brown can't quite get a handle on it. Back to Thompson. Important player in the first quarter to fall forward. Heatley's got it. He's just too good for them. 9 goals at Waverley and 5 tonight. He's about to kick his 6th.
What did Mickey Malthouse? What did he do to Mickey Malthouse in the Perth? Obviously on the Eagles list, but tonight he's just maybe just a slight pressure from behind. But not only has he kicked goals against Michael Martin Pike, he's dragged Pike back.
Likes
well
this
out of the half-back line.
Likes this Heatley. He's got every goal at this end tonight. He kicked 3 in the first quarter. He's going for his 3rd in this term. It was the end. He kicked his 5 in the first quarter against Melbourne. He's got it. He doesn't miss. It's the biggest lead they've had all night. They led by 27 points at the 23-minute mark of the first quarter. The margin, ironically, now is 32. That's what North Melbourne trailed West Coast by last week. But boy, you would not bet on them this week.
And the guy that kicked it in, Robert Harvey, he is just getting stronger and stronger.
Free kick paid to Rod Keogh in the centre without the ball being bounced, so not sure exactly.
While we're looking at that replay, there was a free kick given in the centre. It went the way of St Kilda and was taken by Keogh only as far as King at half-back. He defends for North Melbourne over the head of Daniels. Carey gets caught. He loses the football. Look at the tackle on Wakeland. Spills free to Burke. He also feels the pressure put on by Peter Bell. Daniels goes again for a second time on Stevens. Oh, great stuff. And you're seeing it on footy's home ground.
Free kick to Stevens against Nicky Winmar.
On centre wing, North making a change. Rock is off. Freeborn comes on up towards half forward, and Scholl takes the mark. These are desperate times now for North. Anything will do. Anything to get them back. In towards a full forward. No mark taken. A snap is high and wide, and going in towards the right forward pocket. Out of bounds on the full. So no luck there for the little man, Peter Bell, as Nicky Winmar has a spell, and Lappin is back on for St Kilda. Here's Keogh on the outer side. Pushing up towards the wing. Thompson waits down. A couple of North boys flew. Thompson's hand pass is going to be in front of Brown. He runs into a wall and loses it. Needs support and gets it. Another 25 metres, and they've got it down towards the left half forward flank area. Blakey and Pike runs into Stewie Lowe. Don't worry about that, says Stewie. I'll bounce straight back up again.
Yes, while this play's going on, Chandler is now gone across onto Harvey. Stevens now a genuine midfielder. They need to win the game, North. They're going to lose it with their present structure.
The immovable object. Nicky Winmar off the ground for that indiscretion on the boundary. Bold coaching by Stan Alves, the coach of the year. Throw in. Left half forward. The Saints in attack and in control. Low, Carey the other way. Harvey, the superstars involved there. Harvey inside the 50. Heatley off his chest. Lappin waiting in front. Heatley again at close quarters to Burke. Burke from 45. Bacon square going back ball. Wide of the mark in any case. Behind. Burke, 21 possessions, 12-12 plays, 8-3. And St Kilda just for the moment looking the team of destiny. 3-6 to a behind in this term.
Dominating, aren't they? 9 scoring shots to 1 in this third quarter. North need a couple. Harvey onto it. The 19-year-old, the only teenager on the field tonight. Longmire front spot, went to ground. Might have hurt himself too, Longmire. Gee, that's a shocking blow for North. He's in trouble, Longmire. Cripps holding the footy. Was over it for a long time. We've got John in the box there a moment ago. So Cripps over it for a while, Longmire up. He's had 2 knee reconstructions, remember.
Looked like over on the ankle, though.
Yep. Yeah. Well, it's a lot better than the knee for him, isn't it? Personally, that's for sure. So Scholl kicks, gives it his best, hooks it, and scores a behind. Only their second score for the quarter. They've been completely outplayed. Longmire coming off and Crocker coming on. So we'll have another look at Longmire going for it.
Oh, no, the left leg seemed to overextend. Well, we'll wait on that one.
Harvey chips to Jones. Harvey's had a huge third quarter, and Jones has got it between half-back and centre wing. Aussie with a long one, keeping it close to the line. Lowe had a bit of it. Danilchenko with him. Thompson, handball under pressure. Still North Melbourne hard at it. Their season is certainly looking like it could be over in the next 35 minutes. There's Longmire. North having won 5 consecutive finals coming into this match, defending the title they won last year, got right up against it at 12-12 to 8-4.
And St Kilda on their way to notching their 9th straight win. An amazing performance for a side who was down and out a couple of months ago, rock bottom. Not the case now as Aussie sets them forward once again in towards Lapp, and he picks it up now, goes back in towards the centre. Packett looks down towards the lead of Jason Heatley. Long way out, just pops one over the top. That's okay because he's found Harvey. Inside 50, Robert Harvey.
He is the most amazing on-ball runner I've ever seen. I've got no doubt about that. We mentioned Brett Chandler has actually been shifted on him. He just ran from the other end of the field and dropped Brett Chandler off by 50 metres. This is Harvey. He's ran from the centre square and he just keeps running. The combination of speed and stamina that he charges around the ground, Robert Harvey, I'd hate to play him myself.
Cook's having a spell as Harvey goes for goal for the Saints as they steam towards a grand final.
Yes, I think the floodgates have opened now. The running power that St Kilda looked like they had in the first half didn't get them a long way ahead on the scoreboard. But just the look of this game, the longer it's going to go, the better St Kilda are going to run comparative to North Melbourne. All of a sudden we can be smart in hindsight and say, well, the week's break, what a magnificent gift to have.
Well, you can almost sense it. The confidence is rising in the Saints. Sierakowski knocks it down. The future almost tangible. Off the ground, socket towards the wing by Keogh. Going again is Jones, and across the line. They were confronted just before half-time. North made a run. Anthony Rock disconsolate. The Saints
at that centre bounce, so Carey went to half-back. I mean, with this kind of deficit, I'm not quite sure what the point is in actually flooding the half-back line.
Burke over the ball. 90 to 52. Less than a minute before three-quarter time. Let's go down to Dipper for news on John Longmire.
Look, it is his ankle. Unfortunately, he's twisted his ankle very badly. They're just trying to retape it now. I don't expect to see him back on the ground, but he's certainly grimacing on the boundary line here.
Corey McKernan off in the opening term. You can see that left leg sliding as he approached the ball. Bad news for North. There's been little good news tonight. In goes Simpson, but in the meantime, it's a free kick to North. He'll get it.
Kicks the ball to about centre wing. Hutchison's been good all night, I feel. Quick kick by Roberts. Here's a chance. Scott Jones is so quick, though. You'd back him. Oh, they're going to love this. Aussie from half-back. Belts at the centre wing. Running away from Robert Scott there. Heatley, what a game he's played. Gives off a little handball. Daniels has been good. What a quarter, St Kilda. When they talk about the St Kilda Football Club in the future, they're going to talk a lot about the third quarter that they played at the MCG in the preliminary final, because they booted 4-6 to 2 behinds. They turned North Melbourne inside out. That's keeping a lid on it. Normie Goss talking to Stan Alves. Stan, who won a premiership here as a player with North Melbourne, ironically.
Well, Stan said to his players, go out and enjoy this footy. I think Stanley Alves and Norm Goss are just starting to enjoy this.
Wouldn't you like to be a fly on their shoulders to see what the conversation is all about? It looked like there might have been just something of a...
Gee, I feel for Longmire. No premiership last year. Missed out last year. And he must know they're gone now. It's 13-12 to...
And it's unbelievable performance. And also, the Saints, they've told themselves they have to win this quarter. They want to kick the first 2 goals. And Dennis Pagan just asked his boys just to keep going the way you've been going all year, and we'll just see what happens by the end of the game.
Well, they need a huge one, don't they? They need to turn this around. Keogh's kick to half forward. Hall, big fly. Harvey with the moulders on. Beautiful give. Lowe's kick out wide. Heatley and Martin out of play.
And that's exactly what St Kilda need Big Barry Hall to do. Run and jump at the ball. Forget about bodying, just run and jump at the ball from the front spot. Hasn't taken a heap tonight, but gee, it clears the packs for those ground level players.
As Tim Watson said on a call not too long ago, he's got more presents than Father Christmas. And he's done that again tonight. There's no question about that. Quick kick away. Daniels, hasn't he been good? Sirakovsky, sideways handball, good. Go for goal. At the back, chance for Heatley. Mickey with him. Still Mickey. Heatley's got him. Mickey wants it behind. And it just gets in. Didn't Thompson read that well? He was onto it on the flash. And North really is just hanging on for dear life. Peter McKenna, what about Heatley's performance as a full forward tonight?
Well, it's a magnificent performance, Bruce, and he's just so clever. He reads the play, and that's the name of the game. But with a midfield like that, Bruce, it's a full forward's dream.
King brings it back into players almost down to the centre, but the Saints are just stealing it at every opportunity now. Jones goes in towards full forward once again, but back to King. He steadies on the last line of defence. Kicks towards Anthony Rock. That disconsolate look on his face in the third term on the bench told the story, as Stuart Lowe again shows his aerial supremacy. Drifts it into Nathan Burke in the middle. Saints are running now. They are everywhere, sensing that they can go forward. Maxie Hutchton is smack bang in the middle of the MCG. Call to go on now is Max, and just drifts short to Justin Peckett. He's not even out of the mud as yet. Still in the centre. Now the lead is on. Heatley looks for the push. It doesn't come his way. They head towards the boundary line. John Blakey, a tireless worker for North Melbourne, as John Longmire and Darren Crocker look on sadly from the sidelines. There's Jason Heatley. What a time he's had. And now Roberts and Cripps. Roberts in a front spot. Heatley says, I'll take you on. It's been my night so far, having booted 6. He can afford a smile. Wayne Schwass, also a marvellous player for North over the years, missing out, courtesy of the tribunal. So his season is over. Glenn Archer's season we know is over. And North Melbourne's is all but over. Roberts again. With Cripps. Won by the ladder. Tried to find a Burke. Instead, Stevens may go again at a second attempt. Tried to sucker out of the way. Harvey did well. Was unable to get clear. Keogh, Rock out the back door. But look at Keogh. Absolutely pounce on him. And Anthony Rock wondering what on earth can you do with that. Keogh's pump. Started on the bench tonight, but really added a bit of bite, Lee, didn't he, when he came on?
Yes, he does that. He's a very, very aggressive player, and just adds an extra dimension to their group in the midfield.
Harvey pokes it inside 50. Look at Thompson go. He gives it across to Nicky Winmar. Going for goal to goal! Saints are roaring into the final now.
Yes, and aren't the supporters and the players going to enjoy it? It's really only a matter of playing out time now. They've got this match well won. I think that happened probably late in the third quarter, but the speed again of Thompson. Anderson just was able to lay the tackle, but not firmly enough to prevent the handoff to Winmar, and had pretty happy boy Nicky Winmar.
'97 plays 52. So confident now. Burke knocks it on. Well played. Just forcing it forward. Scott, with other ideas, comes away from half-back. Boots it towards half-forward. Carey, well held again tonight. Well played by Wakeland. Comes away with dash. Unloads down towards half-forward. Up comes Lowe. At the last moment, Pike knocked it away. Winmar pulls it back. He's got 3 goals. Burke 75 metres out. Goes looking for Heatley, who's got 6. Martin fisted away. Cripps onto the loose ball down in front. Lappin expecting to go close from there. No. A rush of blood out of bounds on the full. Anderson limply coming off the ground.
Interesting, that last centre bounce. We wondered where St Kilda would do with their ruck work. Longmire down, McKernan and Adam Simpson contested the centre bounce ruck work for North Melbourne. You wouldn't have picked him in a million years as a player would ever do that.
Game number 201 for McMartin. It seems it will be a loss. Out of the back pocket, sends play towards half back. In from the side, low almost. Stevens hacks it out of mid-air. Keogh will send it back in. Keogh forward of the wing, well inside the 50. Heatley has paid the mark. Well, that was line ball.
Mickey Martin certainly asking for the free kick and disappointed that he didn't get it, but I really don't think that Jason Heatley pushed him out of the way. It was all just body on body waiting for the footy to come.
Well, we're probably going to have that amazing benefit of the replay, which the umpire didn't have. And, of course, Mickey Martin never thinks there's any such thing as a free kick against him, so he would have been disappointed he didn't get one.
He's very, very anxious to tell you.
Heatley going at number 7. Twice the leading goal kicker in the WAFL for Subiaco. On both occasions over 100.
And Mickey Martin has gone back about 15 metres off the mark. So David Howlett making sure that Heatley knows where the mark is.
This should end all resistance. Gun barrel straight.
We can calculate how many goals he's kicked, Jason Heatley. Tonight, 7 goals straight. He is a dead eye, no doubt about that, when he's both from those snapshot goals. And here we see this situation here. We'll have a look at it again. John, you might talk us through the marking.
Yeah, look, you can't be sure that Jason Heatley actually does push him. Mickey Martin's momentum's probably the reason he misses the contest. And I'm comfortable with that, given that we're a lot further away than what David Howlett was.
6 goals, 7 to 2 behind since half-time. They're absolutely putting on a clinic now. They're destroying North Melbourne, a little like Carlton did in the preliminary final on the Saturday night 2 years ago. Stevens kicks wide, Zilla. And for all the success North has had over the last few years, they wouldn't like prelim finals. They've been in 4, and they haven't got out of 3 of them. Dipper.
Yeah, Stuart Anderson came off, Bruce, about a couple of minutes ago, and looks like another shoulder injury for North Melbourne. So at the moment, Longmire, McKernan and Anderson are all injured on the bench. So down to 18 effectively, but it's a moot point, isn't it? Because the Saints are just so far in front. Nothing could happen here to turn it around. Allison's little chip one, too far for Rock. Crocker onto it, couldn't take it. Tries to get it. Harvey, he's had very little impact. That's the Harvey for North. Burke belts it back, low onto it. What a game he's played, Big Stewie. Handballs onto Harvey. Harvey steadies at centre wing, brings it back inboard, waits it perfectly to Cripps. Cripps on, good smother though by Danilchenko. Gives Stevens a chance. That's ironic. Stevens to Danilchenko. Danilchenko with a high one to fall forward. Wakeland caught out a little at the back pike. Free kick going to North, is it, for hanging on?
Being paid by Andrew Coates from the middle of the ground.
Big call.
That's a very big call. I certainly can't throw any light on that one.
He obviously saw a handful of jumper. That was the right hand there. Gee.
I suppose where it's tough though, Lee, is that the umpire that was at that end of the ground, Mark Nash, chose to ignore it, and Andrew Coates was some 50 or 60 metres away.
So we look from behind Crocker. He's kicked 2. He squeezes it through for his 3rd. They're first since half-time. So Crocker with 3. I think I said at the start of the game, Lee, if he gets 4, kicks 3, Dennis Bacon's going to be happy. He's had 4 kicks and kicked 3, but Dennis is not happy at all.
No, well, the St Kilda scoring machine, that's the important thing. They've kicked 15 goals early in this last quarter. They have a great ability to score goals, St Kilda, and they've proved it again tonight.
45 points the margin, favouring the Saints. Out of the middle, Anthony Rock pokes it down towards the half-forward line. Defending is Sirakowski, goes to ground. Socket wide, out towards the wing. The race is on. Stevens and Robert Harvey. Anthony Stevens wobbles a little one, but Harvey's going to be the first to pick it up. Freeborn takes him over the line as the ball spills to Brent Harvey. And there'll be a throw-in on centre wing.
Well, that last centre bounce, I reckon that's the North Melbourne had the smallest total height of 4 players we've ever seen in a centre bounce. Simpson, Harvey, Rock and Stevens, they're all basically midgets. It was the smallest centre bounce crew I think I've seen.
Well, the rain cleared and out they came. 77,531 fans here at the MCG tonight. I think that'd still be here even if it kept raining. Roberts in towards half forward. Crocker flies early again. Scholl waits down in front. Runs into trouble. Not before he gets the hand pass away to Blakey. Tumbles a punt down towards the half forward line. Rod Keogh's standing in the way. But he just pumps it back somewhat blindly, and Simpson takes it in the middle of the ground. Back to Rock again. North won't lie down. They won't give up. Don't worry about that. But it's pushed in towards the pocket, and Max Hutchton sees it over the line. So the Saints now prepare for next Saturday for that one day in September. Jamie Shanahan receiving a little bit of work as his teammates go on with the job out there. Nathan Burke applying the tackle and still having plenty to say. Thrown up by umpire Andrew Coates through the arms of Allison. Harvey, Brent Harvey, and touched over the line for another throw-in.
Sometimes stats tell a lie. The tackles at 30 to St Kilda, 29 to North Melbourne. If your eyes just watched the game, you would have thought the St Kilda tackling pressure has just been so far superior.
The Saints not fazed by the big crowd here tonight. This is the biggest crowd they've played in front of this season. Next biggest was in the mid-60s. That was against Collingwood, a game they won mid-season. Allison again towards the line and shoveled over by Stephen Ziller.
Interesting to see Stan Ells in the coach's box there. I mean, everyone at the ground knows St Kilda's well won this game. And in the coach's box, you never seem to accept those things until there's absolutely no possibility at all.
Well, there wasn't a lot of joy from that shot, was there, with Messrs Goss and co.
We don't see many coaches come down to the ground and raise their arms in triumph, do we?
I do remember one in 1990.
Certainly not on preliminary final day, they don't.
Sure.
The margin is 45 points thrown up. North's end. Simpson got it down to Rock. Hurriedly onto the boot but missed. So only the one goal since half-time. Crocker a few minutes ago. Prior to that, Allison's goal after the half-time siren was their 8th. Now Harvey kicks it in. Young on the ground in place of Shanahan. The Saints looking forward now in more ways than one. Ziller has been handy. Goes back. Harvey across the ground this time into space. Jones a couple of steps. Probing kick. Now Wakeland. He can run. He's on the wing. Kicks inside the 50. Winmar settles in front. Coming back hard, Chandler controlled it well on the ground. Diving in was Daniels. He ties it up. Good result for the Saints. Ball up about 35 metres out. Cast your mind back after round 5. The Saints with one win. They've come from woeful to wonderful, and they're celebrating. Broad smiles all around the MCG, and certainly in many parts around Victoria and across the country. North Melbourne going down, but going down hard as Rock kicks it out wide. Stevens is away.
And half-back kicks the ball to centre wing. Front spot Crocker. Good job at the back though by Hutchison again. Crocker, high ball, back inside, setting himself. Cripps and Roberts. Roberts has got it uncontested in the end. Mark Roberts at 32, the oldest man there at his 3rd club. Sydney and Brisbane before this. Goes long. Good kick. Scholl, who's been pretty quiet, has a second look at it. Can't take it. Taken by Harvey. Brent Harvey, that is. Here's a chance. Allison going hard. Still Allison with Peckett. Well done, Peckett, off the ground, inside the line. It's their night. It's all happening. Zilla and Peckett, boundary throw in.
Yes, on an off night, that would have flown out of bounds on the full, but on a good night, just bounces a foot inside.
They've had their work cut out, Zilla and Peckett, haven't they, with Allison back there, but in the end, even Allison has been quietened down. Burke runs to the line, out of play. 15-13 to 9-5. So who will it be? Will it be the Doggies, haven't won one since 54, or will it be the Crows? Will the Crows make their first grand final? Who will play the Saints next Saturday?
44 points in favour of St Kilda here at the moment.
Pushing them back in the ruck contest paid.
Saints fans not budging from their seats as Harvey chips towards low. Carey is the effective spoiler.
That's part of the strength, I think, of this St Kilda team. We know about their gun players, but it's the form of the Zillas and the Pecketts and players like that, the Cripps and the Thompsons, the ability to do a job for you, to complement other players, has made them such a good team.
Once again, the running machine, Robert Harvey, has notched up possession number 30. Crocker pops one over the top to accommodate Scholl. If he can bend that round, but he can't. If it was St Kilda, they would have tonight. One behind, though, to Scholl. While on the other side of the ground, in the great southern stand, is the great Peter McKernan. Pete?
Yes, Sandy, I'm sure that Stan Alves is giving Robert Harvey a bit of a rest in this final term. He's had about 5 minutes deep in defence and just patrolling across that goal square area, and he's still picking up possessions even there.
Yes, you're right. Young brings it back into play. Carey tries to get round Stewart low. That task he finds impossible.
10 marks for Stewie.
From half-back towards Stephen Zilla. Down on the wing, another one to Keogh. Look out, Rodney. Eludes one, then takes the left foot drop punt up towards left half forward through the arms of Barry Hall. David King is at the back for North Melbourne. Defending. Swings round now and goes back towards centre wing. Who's at home, though, for North Melbourne? Lowe comes over the top. His spoil is effective. Harvey's still going, Peter McKenna. He gets another kick there. Off to David Sirakowski. Into the middle towards Justin Peckett. Peckett's got a bit of time, and he's going to have to go now. Towards full forward. Towards Heatley. Martin spoils. Back towards Peckett again. Almost a crash. Peckett is clear. 49 metres out. Shoots in towards goal, but is away to the right. And Blakey sees one behind added to the St Kilda scoreline.
And Wayne Carey back on Stuart Lowe. I guess that's the ultimate signal of acceptance of defeat.
We saw the time remaining, 8:25. Not long to wait when you've waited all this time as a St Kilda fan. The big day. The big one, looming. King sends play towards half-back. Heatley in front. Spills to the ground. Daniels hard against the line. Pulls it back towards full forward. Winmar was he held? Not according to the umpire. Maybe Stevens was. Picking it up, Lappin. The umpire lets them play. Lappin hooks it down towards full forward. That's a great catch. More the catch than the mark there. King, the hands in early. Great judgment. Slides it towards the pocket. Danilchenko. 104 to 60. Danilchenko playing only his 3rd game of the season. He played the first 2 rounds. Back in for a final. Jones so good, so lively. Towards full forward. Heatley from behind. Martin, great balance. Comes away. Kicks out wide. Here's a chance at half back. Rock has it now. Rock fires it up towards half forward. Scholl on the lead. Just the attacking side of the wing. Kicks for space. Carey running back. Hangs in the air. Well judged. Carey on the 50. Bacon square. He spots that. Goes down towards the kickoff line. Coming back is Harvey. Peckett defiantly over the top. Bumps it behind.
Scores are hard to get for North when you think their only goal in this half came from a disputed free kick for Crocker, called by the umpire, who at the time was about 50 metres away, for a hanging on. Their only goal since half-time. Hudson wide. Saints probing here, aren't they? Using the whole canvas of the MCG as they switch from one side to another. Darryl Wakeland, who's had a very good match, a very good season after not playing in the first 4 games. Brown to Zilla, who bursts away. Winmar! Oh, Winmar! What a mark!
Now he's paid the push with his foot.
Oh,
Gee,
Look,
Come on.
that sort of mark just has to be encouraged. Nicky Winmar's only objective here is to take the mark.
Oh,
that is
dear.
a real injustice. That has to be encouraged in Aussie footy.
Well, that's one of the best marks you'll ever see. If Colbert was unlucky last week, Winmar was probably almost as unlucky then. Gee, that's a mark. Winmar smothered at the back. Well, we're going to give him a free kick.
Well, more importantly, Bruce, it was one of those marks for the ages, wasn't it?
have a look at just a fantastic jump.
Nicky
isn't it?
Winmar's eyes are up all the time. Any contact with Blakey is just coincidental. No doubt a mark.
Well, it could win the mark of the year, I reckon. Kick towards full forward. Aussie Jones may be in a bit of trouble, a bit sore behind. Every Saints supporter will be anxious now, hoping that this team can come through unscathed. This is the team they would want to take into the grand final, I am sure.
Crocker's kick wobbles down to half forward. Scholl gives chase. A tired Scholl as Peckett gets him. Forces it free towards Allison. Has a lightning look, then goes back in towards the middle. Wants a Roberts, but Daniels there, set to pounce on him. He's been fantastic right from the opening bounces, Jack Daniels. Justin Peckett comes out of defence, has time to steady, and comes across the ground, finding Aussie Jones. 5.5 minutes. 5.5 more minutes and St Kilda are into the grand final. Thompson ridden into the ground. The ironical cheers come up from the St Kilda fans as the young man wearing 29 takes the free kick and Oz has a spell. In towards Stuart Lowe. They're leaping from everywhere now.
That was the free kick.
That's right.
And Anthony Rock marks on half-back. Rock looks towards centre wing. Crocker, but that's a wonderful mark by Nathan Burke. With class, goes across to Harvey. Harvey goes short to Tony Brown. He's had quite a stint on the bench, Brown, but back on now for the final stages. Has a look towards Stuart Lowe territory. It's been a pretty good avenue tonight, but this time John Blakey's in the way. Blakey to the outer side. Allison and Bell, and it's Peter Bell who's away. One to ground, gets down towards centre wing, and that kick is wide, and Stephen Zilla says thank you very much.
Zilla in short. Here's Peckett. Harvey, 32 possessions. Burke, 28. Brown, meantime, to half forward. Stewie Lowe takes his 11th mark. That's what you want in a finals campaign. Your big guns firing. And they've blasted tonight, the Saints. They turn it over. Martin, 104-61. North trailing. Martin back towards the wing. Sierakowski, timely fist. Bell in the opposite direction. Hodgson dragged down. Spills come across to Zilla. Quick hands away to Young. Young down towards half forward, in from the side. Blakey intent on destruction, thumped it away. Chandler has it forward at half back. Short one. Stevens, just over 3 minutes remaining in this game. The champs will bow out. Stevens towards half forward. Scholl couldn't hang on, found it on the ground, breaks away. He's on the wing. Scholl, the short one to Harvey. Harvey lays it off. This is Chandler. Chandler kicking inside the 50. Keogh going after it. Not all that convincing. Picks it up. Seems to be nursing an injury. Just chips it towards the boundary. Harvey, the sliding grab.
Yes, Keogh didn't look completely fluid there, did he? Harvey into centre half forward. Crocker the target. Waitland at the back. No carry there at the moment because he's on the low. Good give by Sierakowski to Zilla. Zilla just blazed away. Some untidy footy now late in this match. Harvey, they're just waiting for the clock to tick over. Rock's wobbly ball to centre half forward. Taken by Allison. Well, not taken actually in the end. Little give to Freeborn. Freeborn squeezes, kicks, close. Might have got it. Has. So Freeborn gets a goal. His first. North's 10th. 15-14 to 10-7.
Yes, it's been time to blow the siren for a while now, isn't it? All St Kilda can do is get someone injured. North Melbourne, really, they'd be happy to get off the ground. The night hasn't gone for them at all. just a final goal to Freeborn.
So the end is nigh for the reigning champions. The big men go at it in the middle. Spare a thought for Laser Vidovic and Peter Everett, who've done so much for St Kilda this year.
Joel Smith.
And Joel Smith, of course, who we spoke to at half-time. But they're all a part of it. As Anthony Stevens kicks down towards Crocker. And Darren Crocker, in the twilight of his career, kicking for number 4.
He has said this will be his last game this season, so this will in fact be the last time he plays for the Kangaroos.
Been very good, 158 games. But they've had trouble scoring in this second half. Darren Crocker has got his 4th goal. 2 in the first and 2 in this quarter. North have their 11th, 11-7-73. But St Kilda have flown away, 15-14, 104.
A good mark by Crocker. He just was able to out-position Wakeland, kept the eyes on the ball from the front position. Good solid grab.
So the margin is 31 points. The Saints setting it up with a remarkable third term. Keogh knocks it down. Simpson tries to hand pass it wide. Falling to the ground, Pike digs it away. Taken by Harvey. Kicks inside the 50. Going back, Wakeland got a fist on it. Crocker trying to find it on the ground. Sliding through Chandler. Across the goal face. Daniels keeps it in. Little chip pass out towards half-back. Zilla. High ball towards the wing. He's still running as Robert Harvey. On the boundary line. Beats Stevens for not the first time tonight. Kicks it down towards half-forward. And low for not the first time tonight. Strong hands. 12 marks. Harvey runs on. And the crowd loving this. On to Heatley. He's got 7. And this is a precursor, the fans hope, for the big day. Smith and Vidovic. What might have been?
Well, he set it up on half-back. Robert Harvey gave it to Stuart Lowe, went and got it back, gave it to Jason Heatley, and in the process sprinted 100 metres late in the 4th quarter when they've got the game well won.
He's the only bloke on the ground, Dennis, you give a chance from here, I reckon, tonight.
Yes. He's been so accurate. The Saints are through. Bring on the grand final. Heatley after the siren. It won't be a score, but St Kilda, after so many years in the wilderness, are in the grand final.
Okay, let's go down and join Stan Alves with Russell Morris. Russell.
Thanks, Bruce. Congratulations, Stan. Everything obviously went to plan.
Yeah, well, look, I keep saying this, Fly, but plans are only as good as your men, and they did a great job. We were pretty stunned by what people said about us during the week. All the sort of wrote us off, and that suited us fine. I know they won't write us off in the grand final.
I've been very, very proud.
Well, I couldn't be prouder. When you think of what it is, but yes, I could be prouder. I'll be prouder next week.
So congratulations. Well done,
very much.
Well done, Russell.
And I think that says it all, Bruce.
Well, they played in 65. There's Glenn Archer, who didn't get his chance, did he? Wayne Schwass was never going to get one, was he? But if they'd won tonight, Stuart Lowe's out there with Tipper. Tipper, take a walk with Stuart.
Sensational, Stuart. You've actually made it to a grand final next week.
It's 11 years, Dipper, and this is what it's all about. I can't wait. Absolutely fantastic. The boys are sensational.
Let's walk with the guys down there. Stuart, what sort of week was it just waiting for this game?
Well, last week was a bit ordinary, not knowing who we were going to play. But once we realised the boys really knuckled down, trained really hard, and we come here with one name in mind, and that was to get the next week. And then we'll have a bloody big one next week.
I think the conditions are going to play a big part in the game, obviously with the rain in that way of the side.
To tell you the truth, we probably would have preferred a little drier, but the guys just knew if we're with them at half-time, you know, we've got the speed and the endurance. We're obviously a little fresher. We knew we'd run over the top of them.
You got one to go, buddy.
One to go. Take us for it.
Well, I'm sure that Terry Wallace and Malcolm Blight would have had a close look at this contest tonight. Whoever goes through is going to have a mighty battle if they're going to take the Premiership Cup in '97 from the St.Kilda Football Club.
If it's a hot, dry day, their pace too will be even more of a factor.
Well, all of a sudden, I think this break factor becomes very important when we talk tomorrow's game, the Bulldogs and the Crows. The Bulldogs being the team that had the weekend off last weekend, certainly tonight. From the very beginning of the game, St Kilda looked like they were going to outrun North. Gradually, they just wore them down and eventually cracked them on the scoreboard.
So the Saints, grand finalists in 65, premiers in 66, grand finalists in 71. But so many barren years. Despair for so many of their fans. Russell Morris.
I think Russell Morris, I think we can qualify him as a St Kilda fan. Russell, he's enjoyed this.
So Don Hanley a moment
Not
ago.
a problem, don't worry about it.
Russell, can you hear me in there?
Yes, I can.
Just give us a few words, mate. What's it feel like?
It's very, very hectic here, Bruce. It's unbelievable. People everywhere.
We might listen to the song now.
Yep.
It's almost impossible, no matter what happens tomorrow, to believe this team won't be favourite next week after what we've seen tonight.
Oh, I sometimes think we've got short memories. You tend to, whatever you've seen most recently seems to stick in your mind. But they are a very good team. They look like they've got through uninjured from the team that went into tonight's game. But I dare say there'll be a winner tomorrow that'll look pretty impressive as well. But 9 straight. I mean, really, that they have just strung together a terrific patch of form.
And the only losses they've had in 19 weeks were Geelong at Geelong, Adelaide in Adelaide, and the Bulldogs at Waverley Park when they had more shots. I mean, that form is irresistible, isn't it?
Andrew Plimpton, president of the club, just going through with Don Hanley on the door.
Joel Smith.
And Joel.
It must be hard for guys like Smith.
Laser Vidovic has been called in too.
There's Laser going in. So what a night for the Saints. The champs bow out and the Saints charge through. 15-14 to 11-7.